Today on Documentify TV, we're exploring an archaeological discovery that has changed how we understand the history of the Great Plains in America's heartland. In this episode, we explain the Quivira and why this is so important and seldomly talked about in American history. Imagine a thriving civilization of more than 200,000 people flourishing in the heart of what is now the United States, Kansas, centuries before Christopher Columbus set sail. This is the story of Quivira, a forgotten Native American nation rediscovered thanks to the meticulous work of Dr. Don Blakesley and his team at Wichita State University. The journey to uncover this incredible chapter of history began in 2018. That year, Dr. Blakesley rediscovered Etzanoa, a massive Native American town located near Arkansas City, Kansas. At first, Etzanoa seemed significant. Eyewitness accounts suggested the town had a population between 17,000 and 20,000 people, a bustling community by any historical standard. Yet, as Dr. Blakesley and his students continued their research, they realized that Etzanoa was just one part of a much larger story. This wasn't an isolated settlement. It was a critical component of an interconnected civilization known as Quivira. Quivira was a vast network of towns and trading routes spread across the Great Plains. It emerged in the late 1300s and reached its peak around 1450. Unlike the traditional image of the Great Plains as a sparse landscape occupied by nomadic hunters, Quivira was a thriving civilization. Its people were skilled agriculturalists who cultivated crops and expert hunters who processed bison on an industrial scale. Archaeological evidence from Etzanoa shows that more than 80% of the tools discovered there were specialized for bison processing. These bison products, meat, robes, and even war gear like rawhide shields were traded far and wide, reaching as far east as South Carolina and as far west as California. The Great Plains, it turns out, was not a backwater. It was a central hub of commerce and culture. Quivira itself was enormous, spanning an area at least the size of the Republic of Ireland. Its boundaries stretched from the Kansas River in the north to parts of Oklahoma in the south and into Missouri and Colorado. Despite this vast reach, Quivira has remained almost entirely absent from American history books. Part of the reason is its remoteness. In the 16th and 17th centuries, Quivira was far from the European colonies that dotted the East Coast and the Southwest. Only 3 Spanish expeditions are known to have visited the region, and by the time French explorers arrived in 1719, the civilization was already in steep decline. One of the most fascinating aspects of Quivira's story is its use of a common trade language. Historical documents reveal that the people of Quivira spoke Nahuatl, the language of the Aztec Empire. This language served as a lingua franca, or a common language, allowing trade and communication across vast distances. Dr. Blakesley confirmed this through a chance encounter during a local Day of the Dead celebration, where he met someone from Guadalajara, Mexico. This individual recognized Nahuatl words mentioned in historical records, such as XO, used to call a dog, and Araca, meaning welcome. These linguistic connections provide a direct link to Quivira's far-reaching influence, showing how deeply intertwined it was with other Native American cultures across North America and even into Mexico. The archaeological evidence supporting these findings is nothing short of astonishing. Pottery fragments found in Quiviran sites trace their origins to distant regions, including North Dakota, Texas, and central Mexico. Quiviran sites also contain an extraordinary amount of obsidian, volcanic glass, often used for tools and weapons, originating from as far south as Jalisco, Mexico. In fact, Quivira sites have more central Mexican obsidian than any other archaeological site in the United States. These discoveries paint a vivid picture of a society that was not only thriving, but also deeply interconnected with trade routes spanning the continent. Despite its grandeur, Quivira's decline was as dramatic as its rise. The turning point came around 1610, when the Spanish established Santa Fe and began using the Great Plains as a source for enslaved captives. Other European powers soon followed suit, supplying firearms to their Native American allies in exchange for war prisoners. These weapons, combined with diseases introduced by Europeans, devastated the Quiviran people. Raiding parties from the west brought steel-tipped weapons and horses, while those from the east were armed with guns. By 1700, the once thriving nation of Quivira was gone, its people displaced or destroyed. For the students working with Dr. Blakesley, the opportunity to uncover Quivira's history has been life-changing. Kate Carter, a graduate student at Wichita State, described the experience as one of endless discovery and passion. "There's so much knowledge out there that could be acquired," she said. "Reconstructing history is extremely interesting. I wish a lot more people were in the field to try and help." Another student, Brogan Gilmore, echoed these sentiments, emphasizing the groundbreaking nature of their work. "What we're doing here at WSU is phenomenal. We're seeing a lot of amazing stuff. It blows your mind." Dr. Blakesley's research challenges long-held assumptions about the Great Plains. Quivira was not an empty wilderness inhabited by scattered tribes. It was a thriving hub of trade, culture, and political organization, a legend to the ingenuity and resilience of its people. The story of Quivira forces us to rethink the narrative of pre-Columbian North America and to recognize the incredible complexity of Native American civilizations. That's it for today's video, folks. See you next time, right here on Documentify TV. Don't forget, we publish our videos every Thursday and Sunday.